Forgive me for delay. Umagyantimirandhasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sarvajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhuve Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करोति वाचालम Pangum Langayate Girim Yadkripatamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwar. So we are resuming our Seva Aparadh. Okay. So this is 16th. One should not quarrel or fight before the deity. Especially when we go in front of deities, everything should be favorable to the Lord. And the mind should be peaceful. Or maybe mind is disturbed, but at least the consciousness is either taking shelter, dependence, prayers. And when we go in front of the Lord, then the Lord is in the center. When we are in temple hall, then the Lord is glorified. Everything centered around the Lord, or questions regarding progress in our spiritual life. So they are the center, at least that room. Um, and if we are angry and say, even if management correction is there, somebody does something wrong, or management meeting, in the temple management meeting, then also it's requested go out of temple hall and then do those kind of meetings. One should not chastise anyone before the deity. um, um, when you go to somebody's home and two people are fighting, it's not very pleasant when you go to their home and they are fighting. So like I said, Lord is looking and someone is chastising somebody else. One should not be charitable to beggars before the deities. Why? Because there is that feeling of, there can be that feeling of, um, um, I'm doing good to somebody else, I'm giving charity, or like I'm in a way superior role and that's why I can help somebody else. In other words, when we go in front of the deities, we are all in a way beggars, or we are all in a humble mood and the Lord is glorified. But when we do something, hey, this is for you, and we feel good about ourselves and the Lord is there, that's why one should not be charitable to beggars before the deity. One should not speak, I mean, we can give Mahaprasad to anybody who comes. Anything Krishna centered is okay. One should not speak very harshly to others before the deities, kind of chastise or quarrel in the same line. One should not wear a fur blanket before the deity. It's not considered pure. That's why. One should not eulogize or praise anyone else before the deity. Um, um, this is more like one can praise one's devotional aspects, um, but one should not praise one's material aspects. प्रभु जी कितना अच्छा गाड़ी है आपके पास, कितना अच्छा घर है आपके पास, those kind of things not good. But devotional aspects, like we glorify acharyas, glorify Srila Prabhupada, but always devotional aspect, what austerities they perform, how many rounds they would chant, how sincere they were, what all struggles they went through to, how they were dedicated to serving their spiritual masters. So those are okay, but not on a physical platform, should not eulogize or praise anyone. One should not speak any ill names before the deity. It's again same line as harshness or quarrel. One should not pass air before the deity. Like the Lord would smell, Lord will have a bad smell. Uh, to create a good environment, we incense jalate na. One should not fail to worship the deity according to one's means. It is not that one should try to satisfy the Supreme Lord with a little water and a little leaf, and for himself spend all his money in sense gratification. So, idea is one should serve the Lord uh, to the best of one's ability. We will see there is also examples of a Brahmana who had nothing and who offered the Lord in his mind, and the Lord reciprocated with him. But we cannot take that example and offer in the mind and for ourselves everything nice. And basically, deity should not be neglected. For ourselves, new clothes, fresh clothes, daily we shringhar ourselves. um, we take very good care of ourselves, and for Lord we are putting in the same cloth in the same situation for weeks, no bathing for him, no arati for him. So it's like we are very nicely taking care of ourselves, but the deities are neglected. However, now naturally, in temples we take care of the Lord on daily basis, and the Lord is in the center. That's why we may eat one or two times or three times, but we feed the Lord six times. Arati six times. It's like constantly the Lord is getting worshipped. The Lord, we may take bath once or twice, but the Lord is like two times dress changing. We may change dress only once maybe, but two times dress changing. Every day we offer garland to the Lord. You see such beautiful, new beautiful turban, and so in the temple, the Lord is taking. Lord is in the center. But at home deity worship, um, it's recommended to have a standard. Srila Prabhupada said, have a standard and maintain that standard. Like either bathing the Lord if we have deity form on Ekadashis or once a week. Um, but whatever we can do best to our ability, we should do for the deities. Like offering only nuts to the Lord and going out and eating very nice. One should feel bad that the Lord is there and I'm taking care of myself so nicely and neglecting the Lord. One should not eat anything that is not offered first to Krishna. Anything we eat, we should offer to Krishna. Anything not offerable to Krishna. Now, there are some things that we can offer at home, but we cannot offer in the temple, like bread, because bread contains yeast, or maybe some item may contain vinegar. So vinegar, yeast, these are things that we don't really offer to the Lord in the temple, but at home we can offer. So we make those things in the temple also, but then we offer to Jagannath picture. Um, um, and the picture of the Lord does not take offenses, but the deities, there are more rules compared to the pictures. But either ways, it is considered offered. But things that cannot be offered to picture, like onion, garlic, and other things, or anything that is not offerable, we should not eat that. One should not fail to fresh to offer fresh fruit and grains to Krishna according to the season. Um, like in temples, 4 p.m. is called Vaikalika Bhog. There we offer fresh fruits. And naturally, everything we offer to the Lord is fresh. Actually, new deity ministry standard is, I don't know, right now we're not following that. It's like no dosa batter because it is fermented overnight. No pasta, no, because it's half cooked before. For temple, there are many rules, but at home, these things are fine. Basically, everything, the idea is everything fresh and pure. is offerable to Krishna. जिसमें झाग आता है ना, झाग, bubbles, that becomes impure. Oceans also have jhag, so becomes impure actually. And fermentation brings jhag, that's why it becomes impure. So pure grains and offer pure fresh fruits according to the season should not fail to do that. Um, Actually, the more we serve the Lord, the more Lord will become active and reciprocate with us in that way. There is one small pastime where Srila Prabhupada came to Vrindavan, and they were like the deities which are now, they were getting installed, and they got the deities from the store. They were freshly carved. After many months, the deities came, and then Srila Prabhupada was coming. It was like um, few weeks before the installation ceremony of ISKCON Vrindavan. So naturally, when Srila Prabhupada came, lot of awe and reverence, and um, just all of a sudden Prabhupada came. So they were like, they were holding the deities. Where do we keep the deities? So the door was there, iron door, big iron door, and on the side of the door, the pillars are there. No? So on the pillar, there was a flat surface. So they put Krishna on one side of the pillar, Radharani on one side of the pillar, so that they can receive Prabhupada, and then they would carry the deities inside. So just to show respect to spiritual master. When Prabhupada came, Prabhupada saw Krishna is there on the pillar, Radharani is there. Prabhupada was very upset, obviously. So Prabhupada says, if you treat them as stones, then they will remain stones for you for the rest of the life. But if you treat them as Krishna personally present, Srimati Radharani personally present, Mahaprabhu personally present, Nityananda Prabhu personally present, um, if you treat them like that, then they will reciprocate in that way. After food has been cooked, no one should be offered any foodstuffs unless it is first offered to the deity. Um, um, Whatever is cooked first offered to the deity, and then only we can partake or others can partake. Another thing is, when we offer food to the deity, we should wash the plate in which the bhoga is offered before we partake. Um, that is the best standard. Mm. There is another instance where it's a temple circumstances. Um, that some food was offered to Shri Radha and Krishna in the temple. Prabhupada was there. Some guest came, and guests were leaving. So Prabhupada told the devotees, give them some prasad. So they were like hesitated because it is not offered to Krishna yet. It's in the altar, but it hasn't come out. So they said, Prabhupada, we cannot give because it's not offered. So Prabhupada became um, like little strong, and Prabhupada said, as soon as the plate touches the altar, it's considered offered. Give them some prasad now. So there Prabhupada emphasized the importance of taking care of like the guests or members who comes. So sometimes some exceptions may be there, but then if some devotees are coming every day and they are regulars, um, and then it is offered and they pack and they leave, then that is not a good standard for, like, it's not a good standard. Otherwise, the whole standard of temple will go down. But once it is offered and clean, then only devotee should partake the prasad. But exceptionally, for the sake of preaching, Srila Prabhupada made some exceptions like that. One should not sit with his back before the deity. One should not offer obeisances silently to the spiritual master, or in other words, one should recite aloud the prayers to the spiritual master while offering obeisances. So when we bow down while offering obeisances, we should offer prayers to our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. If we don't have spiritual master yet, then we should say Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Buddhya Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Every time we offer obeisances, this prayer should be recited. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshwanya Pashyate Shatarine. But if we have a spiritual master, or if we have received the shelter of spiritual master, then the pranam mantra for spiritual master should be recited first, and then pranam mantra for Srila Prabhupada. And it should not be recited in the mind alone, how we do in our tradition, because um, everything is Srila Prabhupada centered. So how I do is like, so in a way that nobody could hear, but it is still loud enough so I can hear. Prayers to spiritual master should be loud. One should not fail to offer some praise in the one should not fail to offer some praise in the presence of the spiritual master. When we go in front of spiritual master, we should glorify them. Uh, Also in front of spiritual master, we should not show what all we are doing, uh, but rather we go in a humble mood, and we say whatever. If spiritual master himself says, Prabhu, thank you for your service, or something like that, then we should say, whatever I'm able to do is only by your mercy. Is only by your grace everything is happening. Only by your grace my spiritual life is maintained. Um, in whichever way, we should always offer praise in presence of spiritual master. In fact, Krishna is very pleased when we uh, praise our spiritual master even in front of Krishna. We have the reference of um, uh, Prahlad Maharaj when he met Lord Nrsimhadev. Prahlad Maharaj said, "Let me first offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master Shripad Narada Muni, because of whose mercy I have you in front of me. Because he showed me the way, and because of his grace, I am able to meet you. So my first duty is to let me pay my obeisances to lotus feet of my spiritual master." Om Agyante Virandasya. I was lost in the darkness of ignorance, and he opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Therefore, first let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him. And because of his guidance and his instruction, now I'm able to see the Supreme Lord. One should not praise himself before the spiritual master. Maharaj, I'm doing this and this, and Maharaj, amazing things I'm doing. No. Actually, we should not praise ourselves or oneself in front of anybody. Um, what to speak about spiritual master? One should not deride the demigods before the deity. Um, because if we see everybody on the higher planets, like heavenly planets, Swarg and above, everybody is a devotee. And the Lord has found them responsible enough and devotional enough to give them the charge for maintaining the universe in various ways. Somebody is maintaining the air, somebody is maintaining light, somebody is whatever, water. So there are different demigods in charge, and the Lord has given them those responsibilities. They are servants of the Lord, may not be pure servants. Like we, when we meet each other, we respect each other, we bow down to each other. We may not be pure souls ourselves either, but then we respect. So these devatas, in a way, are very exalted. They are Lord's confidential servants. So we cannot disrespect them, but we don't worship them as Supreme Lord also. But we don't disrespect them. So this is
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Vinay here.
Vinay Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, sometimes like when we are working in public service, right, we have to communicate what we are doing um, in the program, right? And we have to share positive things about the program. So how do we communicate that if you are leading any activity that you may be putting yourself indirectly that you are doing something, right? So that may or may not be treated as praise.
Oh, you mean when we glorify ourselves in the program?
No, not in that sense. Let's say um, cooking. I just take let's take an example of
Cooking.
cooking, right? We say we serve 100 meals, um, and we share that information with the spiritual master. And then how do we communicate that? Like, you may be organizing, right? You are part of the cooking team. We share so many meals that may be treated as praise, or that's just an information which we are sharing.
Thank you, Prabhu. So when we say we, it's a team. Okay. Team is okay. Like we say, Prabhu, Maharaj, our temple is trying to cater in this direction, and by Lord Krishna's grace and your grace, we are able to do this. That is fine, Prabhuji. When I comes, now that's where things are a little bit like um, I when I speak Maharaj, when I dress Maharaj, when I do Arati Maharaj, when I sing Maharaj. Yeah. So those are the things that we avoid.
Okay, good.
And we as a team is good, bro, as a temple. Um, but we don't take credit for that also. By Lord's mercy, this is happening. Anything Sasai Thakur would do, Sasai Thakur would say, by Lord's mercy, we were able to distribute these many books. By Lord's mercy, this much holy name was distributed. Again and again, we give credit to the Lord, and we are the instrument. Then that is also fine. That's not our praise. No? We are like when we say all glories to Prabhupada means by the grace of our Guru Parampara, this is happening.
So we are surrendering indirectly the results of our work to Lord, right? That's the mood.
And they are responsible for the results. I mean, they gave us this result. If they didn't desire, if they didn't sanction, no matter how much hard we tried, we wouldn't have been successful. It's actually their grace. It's a fact.
So in either case, success or failure means I'm just
Mm,
um, building on when we keep on saying, right, you are not the controller of the result.
uh, uh.
So another way of practicing this and realizing what we are doing, right?
See, when it failures now, we take some responsibility. For example, if preaching is not going very well, suppose, then we say, I'm not so pure, and that's why I'm not able to do it. But if anything good happens, then we say because of the sincerity of the devotees, because of maybe the grace of spiritual master, we give credit to somebody else, either to Lord Krishna or to Vaishnavas, to spiritual master, and then we take blame on ourselves. That is a very nice mood.
So last question. So from a student's perspective, um, if the student doesn't perform in the exam,
Mm.
where do we draw the line? I did not work hard enough, or just the question paper was just beyond what I could have done. I mean to say means where do we say okay it was God's will versus my lack of preparation?
Ah. When we give our best and we are trying, and the result is not very successful, Krishna has some other plans. For example, we tried to start a new program, suppose. Somewhere we did a lot of promotion. Um, Two people came. Whatever Krishna desired, Krishna has some other plan, we'll try to continue. And at the same time, we say, you know, we are not pure enough, we are not sincere enough. That's, I mean, it timely circumstances probably. Sometime it's more like say we go out to a city, maybe 1 hour away from the city, and we start a program there, and not much response. Maybe Krishna wants us to focus the energy there. That's one thing. But overall things are, let's say, overall preaching in the temple is not going well. So I am not pure. So basically, a devotee, his consciousness in such a way um, that he keeps himself in a humble state of mind. And different circumstances, different little bit, some variations is there. Makes sense, Prabhuji?
Yeah, like Sneha was saying to me, sometimes daddy you say that leave the result to Krishna and then I don't perform, then you beat me up. So make up your mind.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we cannot be like sitting. in our rooms and not doing anything, and then just I'm just taking teaching example, it's relevant to all the devotees, and then we say nothing is happening, what can we do, Krishna is not providing, then that is also wrong. But then we are putting our full effort and the results are not, and then we say either based on time to circumstances, um, results Prabhu, Krishna's mercy, we will see how what Krishna wants from here, but Krishna is giving some encouragement, uh, Guru's mercy, Krishna's mercy. And next week, if nobody comes, maybe whatever Krishna wants, we'll just continue our services. And after many weeks, say few months, nothing is happening. Maybe Krishna has some other plan, or maybe uh, it's always seeing the hand of Krishna or our own incapabilities.
Okay.
Different circumstances. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Then this is. I don't remember. I may have in the notes. Let me Yeah, I have not written those in the notes. But anyways, they are from different books. I think one is from Padma Puran and one is from Skanda Puran. And that's why we discussed 32 and then it again goes to Seva Prad 1 to 5. So Rupa Goswami from different Shastras he has taken um, and bringing all at one location in this 8th chapter. One should not touch the deity in the dark room. Or one should not see the deity also in the dark.
Yeah, for the car keys, I can drive Nikolai home. Huh? I put the keys in there.
How do you put it? Okay. One should not touch the deity in the dark room. In fact, one should not see the deity in the dark room also. One should not fail to strictly follow the dark room. Dark room um, it represents ignorance actually. Dark room. Um, Light, mind becomes more sattva lights. But sometimes, but there are some exception to dark room. One is chanting. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, close the doors, close all the lights. In fact, there's any light, put a black cloth so that the eyes are not distracted. We can just focus on the holy. That's one place dark room is actually good. But otherwise, dark room will instigate material desires. One should not fail to strictly follow. That's why if you see altar area, well lit actually, altar areas. One should not fail to strictly follow the rules and regulations in worshipping the deity. Should not fail to strictly follow. Especially in temple, before we touch the deity, there is a word that we use, altar clean. Some of you who are Brahman Dikshit knows about it. Others, those who are doing worship in the temple also knows about it. Altar clean means um, freshly bathed, then didn't go to restroom or didn't drink or didn't eat anything. Freshly washed clothes, tilak, um, chadar, this like altar clean. Um, um, Deities are always completely transcendental. Um, 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 in home worship, not so strict, but at the same time we should have our own rules how far, but we yeah, at home I don't want, I'm based. One should not fail to strictly follow the rules and regulations in worshipping the deity. It is best if we have some rules at least when we deal with deities at homes also. One should not enter the temple of the deity without first making some sound. You don't enter directly. There is one instance I heard in Mayapur where the pujari, without knocking, he entered and the spoon fell down. I usually don't speak on such things, but the spoon fell down um, uh, from the top to the plate, and so Anyways, we don't want to cause inconvenience to the personal to the person. It's a personal room now. It's the Lord's room, the Supreme Lord. Like if you go and even um, father and mother are there in the home, and then it's their personal room, and then you just don't go and open, you knock. So whatever situation they are in, you go. In that way, it is recommended to first make some sound. uh, One should not offer any foodstuff to the deity which has been seen by dogs or other lower animals. Even if it is seen by a lower animal, it's considered contaminated. Even there is one instance where Srila Prabhupada made some gulab jamuns. Yugal Kishore Prabhuji was mentioning this. Prabhupada made some gulab jamuns, and one devotee came, and he entered the kitchen, and then he saw gulab jamuns, and his eyes were like shiny with water. And then he said with so much excitement, Prabhupada, you're making gulab jamuns. So in that way he said, Prabhupada became unhappy. And Prabhupada told his assistant, throw all these gulab jamuns because they have been already eaten by ice. And that's why there is a tradition of covering the food with cloth. So nobody sees, and then it becomes contaminated in a way. What to speak about seen by dogs and other lower animals. One should not break silence while worshipping. While worshipping, full focus on that. Silently meditating and worshipping. The exception is you are worshipping. One exception that I've heard, and a pure devotee comes or a guest comes. Not like our regular devotees are coming, and for everybody you turn back, you pay obeisances, and um, you not like that. Regular worship should go on with perfect silence. But if suppose a guest speaker is coming, or we have some responsibility, a spiritual master comes, or some devotees comes, or some devotees are leaving for maybe some time, or there is some like special cases there for maybe a regular devotees maybe um, leaving to India for 2 months, and they came and they were like, oh, I'm getting late, I have to leave. Then you can stop and give them some Mahaprasad and then continue worship. So there are cases where it's okay to stop the worship and take care of devotees, pay obeisances, speak a glorification, and then resume the Lord's worship. But those are more exceptions than a rule, or than like a regular thing. Then one should not pass urine or evacuate while engaged in worshiping. But if sometimes we have to attend to nature's call while worshipping, and it's an emergency, then what can be done? We go attend to nature's call, take shower, and then come back. Also, our clothes that we wear in the pujari room, in the altar, should not go into the bathroom. If they go into the bathroom, our clothes are considered contaminated. And we can wear some other cloth, like for ladies some other cloth before going to bathroom, or for gents they can wear just a towel, remove the clothes, come back and wear those clothes. uh, then also, uh, our pujari clothes should not touch the bed where we sleep. uh, the bed is considered in mode of ignorance. uh, when we touch the bed, the clothes are contaminated. Then our fresh cloth should not touch the old clothes. They should be separate. Um, Old clothes is again considered an ignorance. And when we touch the fresh clothes with old clothes, gone. Um, so there are some considerations. Um, Cleanliness. One should not offer incense without offering some flower. One should not offer incense without offering some flower. So with incense, one should offer flower. Um, um, with incense, one should offer some flowers. Um, um, So there are um, two kind of aratis. There are three kinds of aratis. One is full arati, one is dhoop arati, and there are two kind of dhoop arati. Like if you see Tulasi, we do dhoop arati, and like Shayan arati, night arati, Vaikalika, 4 p.m. arati, and then uh, bhog arati, which is morning after breakfast. These three aratis are half aratis. and then Mangal Arati, Noon Arati, and Sandhya Arati are full Arati. So we offer 3 full Aratis and 3 half Aratis. And the half Arati contain a incense, a flower, and cham. All the 3 Arati, incense, flower, and chamara. And then we do a Dhoop Arati, which is special for Tulasi Devi in the morning. Dhoop Arati. There we do incense, lamp, and flower. We don't do chamara, but incense, lamp, and flower. So if you see, incense and flower are together. Um, Either incense, flower, chamara, or incense, lamp, and flower. So here one should not offer incense without offering some flower. So flower should be there. Useless flower without any fragrance should not be offered. But in US we don't get flower. Most of the flowers don't have fragrance, and that's why we uh, add some scent um, in a Q-tip. So we are offering some fragrance along with the flowers to avoid this offense. One should not fail to wash his teeth very carefully every day because we don't want to smell when we go in front of the Lord. I have seen some devotees, like I know one brahmachari in Detroit temple. He would use a special kind of deodorant or perfume before he goes to the deity. But the purpose is the Lord should, I should not smell in front of the Lord when I go to the altar. One should not enter the temple directly after sexual intercourse. Rather, one should take bath. One example mentioned in scripture says Kashyap Muni. Diti came and Diti said, I want a child. Then Kashyap Muni said, wait for some time. We know the story. Diti didn't want to wait. So Kashyap Muni performed the act. And then Kashyap Muni took bath. And then Kashyap Muni, he chanted Gayatri. And when he was chanting Gayatri, then Diti came and she was like lamenting that you told me this is not the right time and I could not tolerate myself. What will going to happen? Then Kashyap Muni said the demons will take birth. But that shows Kashyap Muni, he took bath and chanted Gayatri. Um, uh, One should not enter the temple after touching a woman during her menstrual period. In our Vedic tradition, we um, don't follow this. Srila Prabhupada says Bhakti is most important. Um, um, but we don't worship the deities in the altar, in the temple during our monthly cycles. But we can enter, we can come for program, we can hear the glories, participate in Kirtan. One should not enter the temple after touching a dead body. When we see a dead body or when we touch a dead body, then the recommendation is to come and take bath. The moment we see a dead body, contamination enters. That's why one should come, take bath, and then go to the temple. Don't go to crematorium, somebody passes away, and then come back and then go to the altar and pay obeisances. No. Directly go to bath, wear fresh cloth, put the cloth that we went to see a dead body. Put the cloth in washer dry immediately. Wear fresh cloth, tilak. Then only go in that altar area. Or even to enter the temple hall, we don't enter temple hall also. Directly when we enter, our concern is we are entering, we see a dead body, contamination enters actually. When we enter temple, our concern is in these clothes, I have to go to the bathroom in the temple. That much concerned we are. But what can we do? So we directly go to the shower and take shower first. One should not enter the temple wearing garments of red or blue color or garments which are unwashed. Naturally, everyday fresh garments in front of the Lord. Now there is a tradition of jeans and we wear jeans for 1 week. Don't know how to. I mean, I personally don't wash jacket every day. If it's cold and we are, I mean, uh, sweatshirts and those we can wash. Um, but one exception is shawl. It is said that wool is considered pure, and wool doesn't need to be washed, and it's considered pure. Wool is an exception actually. It's never contaminated, but generally Other garments that we wear, best is fresh, everyday fresh, unwashed garland. We never wear yesterday's garment today. Actually, it's not. It's when we live an impure life, then we will see impure desires also will come. It is said this is very very important actually. It is said there are four legs of dharma. One is cleanliness, um, um, truthfulness, and mercy. And uh, what is the other one? Uh, truth,
Cleanliness.
uh,
Uh,
Saucham, Daya, Satyam.
Daya, Satyam.
Mercy, Prabhu.
Mercy is Daya, na?
Truthfulness, mercy, cleanliness. 4 pillars. Truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, and austerity.
Tapa. Thank you, Mata. Tapa. So it is said um, four regulated principles are there. No? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. Illicit sex is connected to cleanliness. When cleanliness goes down, illicit sex increase. One by one, when pillars are broken, these um, uh, four regulated principles desire, sinful desires will increase in the mind. So that's why if we remain clean, you will see the mind will become purer gradually. Very, very important. Yes, Mani Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, would you like? Sorry, couple of questions. So, you quickly covered like one should not wear like a red dress and blue dress. Is that what you said?
Yeah. One should not enter a temple wearing garments of red and blue color.
Combined, or it's no red, no blue.
This is one of those which are, I think it's like not very. It's from one of the Puranas.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't think it's like we speak in the lectures in the temple hall while you're wearing. I think it's more of subtle.
Okay. Roji, and then the second one. So suppose sometimes like we may go have to go to like some place like shop or these things, and we see friends, we would not know their status and stuff like that. We handshake with them or touch on them or something like that. But we're coming back to temple. We would not unknowingly, like we might touch somebody, right? Like without touching. Is that considered kind of an
No,
aparadha? Or?
that is no, no, that is okay.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, that is fine. We also go meet everybody and come back to the temple.
right. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So that's okay. And then sorry, one more quick question. So Prabhuji, like in temple, house or home worship, like say we take bath. I mean, sorry, I take bath. I take like the dhoti thing, and then go worship the Lord, come back, change my office dress, and go home, go office or something. And so next day when I'm coming, like the same dhoti, if I'm wearing, is that right thing?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So, Prabhu, I mean, I'll tell you temple standard. We can wear the same dhoti from yesterday if we did not sleep on it and if we don't eat on it.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
5 to 8 we worship the deity, then we change the altar dress and we wear another set, another dress, then we do our regular thing, so then it's not contaminated.
Okay. Thank you, Roji.
Thank
Hare Krishna.
you. Okay, then one should not enter the temple after seeing a dead body. I think after touching a dead body, after seeing a dead body, yeah, we discussed both. One should not pass air within the temple. So because they are from different scriptures now, some commonalities are there. Should not pass air within the temple. And if we have to pass air, maybe sometimes natural, and maybe some indigestion or something, then it's best to go away from the deities, and then we pass it and come back. We are just conscious that Krishna is standing there, and I don't want to cause inconvenience because of my bile issues or indigestion issues. One should not be angry within the temple. We discussed this earlier. I mean, some commonalities will come. One should not enter the temple after visiting a crematorium. We discussed this. One should not belch before the deity. So until one has fully digested his food, he should not enter the temple. Again, we don't really follow that much. I mean, there are 6 arati, 6 offering. The services are all the time. Um, yeah. Okay. One should not smoke marijuana or ganja. One should not take opium or similar intoxicants. One should not enter the deity room or touch the body of the deity after having smeared oil over his body. This is also very nice. We don't put oil before we go to the Lord. Um, um, Oil is considered also impure. If we have to use oil because the skin is dry or something, then after deity worship when we come, then we put oil. Or we can put oil and then we take a soap bath and then we can go to the altar. But we don't go बाल में तेल लगाए and we are going to the altar. या शरीर में मॉइस्चराइजर लगा के तेल लगा के क्रीम लगा के जा रहे हैं नहीं. Anything which has oil we don't use, especially when we go for altar sale. One should not show disrespect to a scripture teaching about the supremacy of the Lord. Don't disrespect again. It's Nam Aparadha also. To blasting the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in persons of Vedic version. One should not introduce any opposing scripture. Prabhu, this is where it says, no need to worship the deity or anything opposing or anywhere. No, should not introduce any opposing scripture. Or basically, don't teach or don't anything, don't tell anybody which brings down the importance of deities or Lord Krishna or some contradictory views. No, don't introduce them. One should not chew beetle before the deity. Actually, we don't eat beetle or pan. Um, one one should not offer a flower that was kept in an unclean pot. Anything kept unclean, we actually throw it away. We don't use them. There are exceptions like a jewelry of the Lord falls down. Then we do achman, which is like water from the achman patra and purify it. But if a flower fall down, we usually discard it. Um, or like sometimes the dress of the Lord may slip and fall down. Then we do achman, purify, and then offer. Uh, Purification can be done 2 ways. One is purification through water, and one is purification through mantra. That mantra is given during Diksha, Brahman Diksha. We get a mantra of how to purify the articles for the Lord before we offer them. One should not worship the Lord while sitting on the bare floor. Um, One must have a sitting place or carpet. We put a small asana and we sit on that or we stand on that while worshiping. It's recommended not to worship on bare floor. One should not touch the deity before one has completed taking bath. One should not decorate his forehead with the 3-line tilak. We use 2-lined. One should not enter the temple without washing his hands and feet. This is little bit like not so frequently followed in US because of the winters is there and most of the temples don't have facility before we enter to wash hands actually, generally speaking. One should not offer foodstuffs which is cooked by a non-Vaishnav. One should not offer foodstuff. Let me see. Oh no. We are on 14th slide and there are 36 slides. on Aparadhas. Probably we will do this as the last slide now for today. Yeah, one should not offer food stuff which is cooked by a non-Vaishnav. Um, we don't let anybody non-Vaishnav cooked food. We don't offer that. But where I have seen exception is like I saw that in Vrindavan, where somebody got something from outside and they are like, can you please offer this now? We have their new people coming. So he kept it right there, and not in the main altar, but somewhere outside. But within the railing, he kept it right there. Then I asked him, Prabhu, do we allow outside food to be offered to the Lord? Then he said, Prabhu, for the sake of preaching, our temple, this is ISKCON Vrindavan. They said you can put it here so that the people don't feel bad. And then you don't ask the Lord to eat. You can tell the Lord, my Lord, it's your desire. I'm just keeping it here because I want to give you to all these people. I want all of them to be attached to you. And I want their service, like they have done something, I want them to be benefited also simultaneously with whatever mood they come. So in a way, there is some gray area there, but generally, only what is cooked in the temple goes to the altar, and cooked by qualified devotees goes to the altar. One should not worship the deity before a non-devotee. Why don't worship deity? I mean, in temple, so many people come. Now. Generally, we are hoping anybody who is coming is like knowing that this is a temple and the Lord is worshipped. Only those faithful people are coming. Then that's fine. Um, but if we worship the deity before a non-devotee, then non-devotee may think, this is all sentiments, or um, this is idol worship, or they may have, because there may be. So our worship is creating a disturbance in their mind, or they are committing an offense, and we are becoming an instrument for them to be offensive in their mind towards the deity, or in whichever way. So we became an instrument. That's why it's recommended not to worship deity before a non-devotee. And obviously, our temple worship continues. One should not engage himself in the worship of the Lord while seeing a non-devotee. Wow. While seeing a non-devotee also, don't worship the Lord. Okay. Ganapati. Okay. I think that's all for today. Are there any other last questions, discussion?
No, Prabhuji. Can you, Prabhuji, just a kind reminder to send the PPT?
This is your fourth reminder to me. I'll send it right now and make some arrangements.
Yeah, Puji, as Pujari, we have done a lot of aparadh from this.
There's so many. But my experience
200%.
is एक बार भी सुनते हैं ना, when once we hear, some it will stick to our mind and we'll become more and more careful. My experience, and that's why this helps.
Yes, thank you for sharing this.
Thank you. Thank you to our acharyas for sharing this.
Yeah, we are directly assigned the job and rules are told later on. Learn on the job.
First get the seva done, then we'll see what all comes with the seva. Thank you. Vanchakalpadharubhesha Anandakoti Vaishnavrinda. Thank you very much. Dandapranam Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Shri Krishna, Prabhuji ki jai.
Anandakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.